And it says we're going live. Ooh, and we're live.
Hi, welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as J Nitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 389, the last one in 2022.
Yeah, great.
You're like, I'm done with 2022. Bring on 2023.
I am.
Yeah. Yep. Well, it's kind of betwixt miss. I love that. I love that that saying or that phrasing. But how was your Christmas slash this week in between New Year's and Christmas?
It's been going good. We have not traveled at all. We've been sticking close to home, which is different, but is also welcome because I'm able to like actually take a nice rest and tackle things around the house and things that we don't normally get to do because we're working during the day. It's been kind of a nice week. I've felt both relaxed and productive, which when you have to add in travel, just never seems to happen. So, yep, been organizing and
Yeah, you asked me about a label maker and also about some equipment that may need to be rehomed. So I was like, I bet she's organizing.
Yes. Yeah. I posted a video out on Instagram of my downstairs room that got cleaned out. Well, the bottom cabinets are still full of home brewing equipment that never gets used. Yeah. So I'm hoping to rehome that. I've put in my application to the local Homebrewers Association Facebook group. And if it gets accepted, I'm going to go to Marketplace and I'm going to post it there. So, and then hopefully somebody will come over immediately and take it all.
Has Matt fully admitted not going to brew ever again?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he doesn't drink.
Jeremy hasn't given up. He's still got the room downstairs and the all grain brewing equipment and whatever. He's like, someday.
Yeah, no, he doesn't drink anymore. Very rarely. So it doesn't make sense.
That'll do it. You can't drink what you make.
It would
be like me aspiring to be like a cake chef, right? Like, yeah, I don't eat sugar, so not really making a lot of sense.
Right. So again, it's taking up a lot of space. So we're hoping to get rid of that. And then I've got like 3 piles. One's trash and one's Goodwill or consignment, depending. And then piles everywhere. I need to take care of the piles.
Gets messy before it gets real clean, right?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Like, and I have plans to buy more shelving or different shelving. Whatever's there is not the right stuff. So I'm going to get new stuff and but yeah, several trips to Goodwill and consignment shops and maybe dumpsters because it's getting to be more than our little bin can handle.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to juxtapose, we did nothing but travel. I mean, like we got someplace and we stayed, but we headed out last Wednesday. So I missed the VKN, as I mentioned, that was likely here. And our normally like 5.5 hour trip took us over 7. Like some of it was like needing to pull over and like de-ice the windshield because even like the antifreeze was freezing. It was really slow going, but from what I could see coming back on Monday, it got much worse. So we did kind of, hit the beginning of the storm, but it had gotten much worse. My very punny joke was there was a lot of carnage along the way. Jackknifed semis going the wrong direction. Like, it was kind of crazy. The wind must have really picked up, a lot of blowing snow, blizzard-like conditions south of here, right? I don't think it ever hit Rochester as was predicted. But
yeah, we got some snow, but like not as much as predicted, and it drifted so that we had to clear our walk several times because it's like, hey, it's all clean. drift. Oh, hey, it's all clean, drift.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, it was a non-issue here. Other than, it did feel like we had already had that layer of
Ice.
So now it's
Stuff.
slush.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's going to be like 30
out there
today, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I don't remember it being that cold down in Southwest Iowa growing up ever. So it was very unseasonably cold there. But yeah, no, it was good. Once we got there, we stayed put because everybody's in that same hometown, right? And yeah, just kind of low key holidays. Spent some time with my brother, saw Jeremy's dad, and obviously we stayed with my mom and dad. So yeah, it was good. Have some of my favorite things are some of the gifts that I received and some things that I bestowed upon myself. And yeah, just wanted to it's been a great year. I wanted to acknowledge that. A great year of ZK, another exciting year coming up with ZK and ZKN. And so yeah, I think we're wrapping up and going to be wrapping up and ramping up different KALs that Amy and I have been throwing around. Don't have anything to communicate quite yet on that, but do get your head, shoulders, knees, and toes out there. Love seeing a lot of hats recently. That must have been like some gift knitting that people either gifted or did last minute. And the cowl that could be head, shoulders, knees, and toes was pretty amazing out in Discord. So pretty awesome there. But yeah, we do a lot of things and enjoy that a lot of people join us. So thank you for another great year.
Yeah. Speaking of year-long projects, I saw a temperature blanket that might have been
could cover a whole family's worth of. Yes.
And I showed that to my husband, and then he later on Reddit, there was somebody else posting about his wife's temperature blanket that was way too big.
Yeah.
He's like, is this the same pattern? I'm like, no. It was crochet.
It's a similar concept. Yeah.
Yeah, same concept, but not the same pattern.
It makes you think of like the song that never ends, that you started it and not knowing what it was. You'll continue crafting it forever just because. Yeah,
I feel like I would have stopped at the half-year point. I've been like, this is a blanket.
We're done. But good for them for the stick-to-itiveness, right? Women after my own heart.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Favorite things.
Okay. So I guess I want to mention a favorite thing of mine over the past year has been subscriptions. I did end up suspending all of my subscriptions. It's just I don't know. I think we had talked about it. I want to be more intentional with what I'm purchasing this year. So I'm not going to be as shiny, hopefully, right? If I'm buying something, there's a project in mind and I'm going to cast it on within a month of receiving the yarn. That's the goal. So, but the last ones came. So this is part of the indigenous from Farmer's Daughters Fibers. It's beautiful. I love this sock combo. It reminds me of winter, like coziness. They call it dirty schmello. So
yeah, kind of almost like a flannel feel, right? Like an old flannel.
Yeah, cozy, warm. So super cute. I enjoyed that being the last one that arrived. And then I also suspended my Suburban Stitcher, and this is the last one to come. Yeah, it's a really pretty peachy color called Dawn. And then getting at the end of the year, seeing all the self-striping in these warm holiday colors. I got super enabled here. Nomadic Yarns was doing some ones with her colorways. So this one's very classic.
Hmm.
And then this one, let's see, Mary Kitmas.
Ooh, I love those greens. You know
Yeah,
I
it's
do.
green and pink and gray. And I bought the Tweedy one. So it's even going to be
Nice.
more like, I don't know, home feeling, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's actually a BFL tweed.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you have my interest.
Yeah. So I got those two because, I Christmas enabled there.
Hmm.
And then another favorite thing is another crafty girl. She had Fraggle Rock inspired. No, it was Muppet Christmas Carol inspired
Hmm.
yarns. So
Ooh.
these are super cute.
Mm.
So this one is All My Friends. And I don't know, I think the brilliant thing about what she does is that there's like a gazillion colors in here, but they're all going to work together.
Yeah.
And you could even make a sweater out of something as
Yeah.
busy looking
And you
as
have.
this. I have. And then this one, oh my gosh, so cute. I
So
think this one's
beautiful.
about the otters. Gotta take chances is the name of the colorway.
Oh, so pretty.
Oh, it's killing me. It's so purpley and blue and it's beautiful. So I really liked those colors, so they had to jump into my cart while they were available. And yeah, so those are a few of my favorite things. I ended up, my Christmas presents were all kind of like early and yeah, I don't know, not exciting because I picked
Yeah.
them out and then they were just purchased for me. So.
Yep. Yep. I'm starting to feel like that itch to do more self-striping because I did wrap up my brother's socks. I was going to post something. I took some pictures because I was racing at the last minute, but I got them done on Christmas Eve and they were under the Christmas tree for Christmas morning. And
Okay.
he loves them and they fit and they look so fabulous. And so I'm like, oh, I need to do more with my self-striping. Which made me when you were doing the pneumatic yarns, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, we should definitely continue our self-striping, KL, because I like it.
Okay. So one of my favorite things was what my husband got me. I inadvertently bought it for my brother for Christmas as well, and kind of started to freak him out that I was going to throw one in the cart for me. But it's an ember,
Oh, yeah.
which is a kind of self-heating coffee
Mm-hmm.
cup. Unbeknownst to me, Jeremy was noticing that like I reheat my coffee 5 times every morning, right? Like I don't just sit down and drink it. Like I'll take a sip and I'll set it down and I'll do something. And then I go back to drink it again. And it's like, oh, it's cold. So then I'll go put it in the microwave. So a single cup of coffee was often also, we have very large, lovely mugs that we've gotten accumulated over the years, right? And so there's no way that I can drink it all before it gets cold. And so he got me an ember. I also got one for my brother. And I absolutely love it. Every sip is the same temperature, and something about that makes me extremely happy. I've not installed the app yet. Like you can control it with an app
Oh,
if you
okay.
want to. I think its default is 165 degrees, and apparently that is like perfect. So they did their market research, and just the default of turning it on, keeping it warm is great. Even later in the day, when I'm getting my second cup out of the coffee, out of the coffee machine, and it's cold, it warms it up gradually as well, right? Because you can't microwave in that for obvious reasons. There's a there's a battery in there. The other thing that was really great, my mom, also a crafter, but she does sewing. She made me a blanket. These colors are going to, out of polar fleece, these colors are going to, your guys are gonna be like, oh, those are Megan's colors.
Wow,
So
she found
yarn
a yarn
balls.
ball.
Yes. And then
Very
she found
fun.
a panel. I gotta show off my mom's handiwork here. See if I can get it all in there. She found a panel that said, there
No
is
such
no
thing.
such thing as too much
Too
yarn.
much yarn. Oh my goodness. And that's all fleece?
Yes, this is
Oh my
all fleece.
goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Home run. That
So
is so
a
cool.
big, beautiful blanket that I assume I might use as like a backdrop for future,
Oh, yeah.
photos that I take, as well as just my own little warmth, but could not have found better colors for me, right?
Right.
Like this green and the turquoise. So yeah,
It's so
a definite
interesting
favorite
that
thing.
I just don't know. We just must have such an influence on other areas, because like I wouldn't have thought you could buy polar fleece with yarn balls and then that giant saying, and like
We must. That, or my mom is a very good sleuth to have found it. But yes, a
yeah.
big, warm, fabulous blanket that was a huge package underneath the Christmas tree. And again, just made my, my heart go pitter pat. It was funny because I had just mentioned that my boss, I knit all of those hats, right? And he was like, "Oh, you must not have any yarn left now." I was like,
Nice try.
I laughed and laughed and laughed. And then I told him the saying, right? Like yarn, the definition of yarn is a noun of which, too much doesn't apply, right? And here I had a blanket that my mom had made me that literally said that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Or you
I think he
should,
was concerned that he was going to give me a gift certificate to buy more yarn and that I would already have too much. And I'm like, oh no, no. Yeah.
yeah, I think yeah, you need to teach them sable, like
No such thing.
yeah, yarn or stash. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
I
having,
think I must have lagged or you lagged.
yeah, I don't know. Hear it's you, but then it could be me.
Hard to know on one-on-one conversations.
Yeah. But yeah, so those gifts look great. Did you have
Yeah.
other favorite things?
So the last thing you were going to say something about I think the sable, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you were? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I bought myself, it was new to me, some Cascade BFL. So this is 100% BFL from Cascade. It's I believe it's a DK. They just have the like in standard like light 3. So 100 grams is 262 yards. I think that's a DK,
Yeah.
right? Maybe a little heavier DK. And I got lured in by something, a sale, whatever. But I saw these beautiful, I just love how BFL takes color. And I was curious what this base would be like. I think I'm going to make a Strata by Tiff Nealon. And I was inspired by, which is like a Aran weight. But I was inspired by her colors of the one that was in the pattern. So I grabbed some pink and blue and green.
I
And they're
have
going
that
to
pattern
be,
in the book.
yeah.
I think it's in this one.
So yeah, some texture there. If I wanted to be enabled by the ZKKAL, there's some
Sorry,
texture in the yoke. This pink
is this the pattern?
No, that's stratified. Strata is like a color work yoke, and with some texture in the yoke area.
Okay. So I'm thinking of a completely different pattern.
Yes. But I still feel like these are, there's a good contrast between these colors. They're again coming off very kind of pastel-y, relative to what they really are. But yeah, going to do some modding there because an Aran weight versus a DK. but excited to work with it. Again, BFL is it wears really well. It's got that short staple length, and the colors, I feel like, really, go ahead.
Oh, things usually wear better with a longer staple length.
That's right. Long staple length versus short. You're right. Short is cashmere, right? It's really soft, but it sometimes can pill. So yes, sorry, long staple length. And they yeah, generally take the color really interesting. It's not as soft as like a merino that I'm working with right now, right? But I feel like it washes up really nice. And it's kind of a nice middle ground between like super soft and luxurious and like the super crunchy rustic, right? Like it's kind of in that happy spot for me where it's just soft enough that but just crunchy enough.
Did you say it was superwash? I can't remember.
100% BFL, hand wash cold, lay flat to dry. I don't know if it's superwash or not.
Doesn't sound like it.
Nope. Non-superwash.
I've been buying a lot of not superwash lately.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I wash my hand knits, I actually prefer the wear of non-superwash. The longevity.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, no, that's the end of my favorite things. Sorry.
Okay.
And I've got more coming, right? Because I got that gift certificate. So stay tuned. But yeah, I think it's been, like I said, kind of at this time of year, I like to reflect back, and definitely great to have gotten those 42 skeins out of my stash for the hats and to have finished those up. Definitely my pattern of the year is the Musselburgh. And we'll see what 2023 brings, right?
It might be mine too, but I only knit 3 of them. Just in the sheer number of times.
It's fair. Level of craziness.
Wow, I knit this thing 3 times. Oh my God.
Exactly. For me, the bar has to be a little higher to be considered.
I am on number 4 though, so it's becoming crazier.
I brought yarn in case I didn't feel like working on sleeves of the 3 sweaters I'm currently working on, down to Iowa to cast on another one if I wanted to, but did not. I worked on the sleeves, so
good for you.
From socks to sleeves. Yeah.
I didn't knit hardly anything yesterday, all organizing all the time. And I stood and I don't know, I was on my feet all day. So it was like, ooh, don't know if I can do that again. So maybe I'll get a lot more knitting done today. I have projects requested from family. So I'm trying to work through those and get them sorted. I would really like a lot of them to be done by the 1st. So
you're running out of time, friend.
I know, but I'm home, I'm not working. And so I thought another favorite thing real quick is our ZKKL. I have some beautiful lavender loon. Ooh. And I'm going to knit a lovely textured sweater. And that's going to be my first one that I'm just going to be like all in on for the new KL.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Well, just quickly, Sarah, Anjanette, Lynn, Laura, and Sandy and Nikki. Did I already say Anjanette? Nope. Are also out joining us live. So hope you're having a great Betwixtmas, you guys. And if we don't see you on VKN tonight or over the extended holiday weekend hangout, see you next year.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, Uvda. All right.